Listen to the mantras and dissolve all obstacles. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnu. All obstacles. Shashivarnam Chadurabhujam. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnu. All obstacles. Magical sounds will dissolve obstacles that lie in the future, unseen. Obstacles unseen. Shri Shashivarnam Chadurabhujam Prasannavadanam Vyayed Sarva Vignoparashyantaye. Shreem, Hreem, Kleem, Klaum, Gang, Ganapataye, Vara, Varada, Sarvajaname, Vasamanaya, Swaha. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnu Shashivarnam Chadurabhujam Prasannavadanam Vyayed Sarva Vignoparashyantaye. Shreem, Hreem, Kleem, Klaum, Gam, Ganapataye, Vara, Varada, Sarvajaname, Vasamanaya, Swaha. Ganesha is an elephant-headed god. His energy dissolves obstacles of all kinds. Listen to the mantras and dissolve all obstacles. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnu Shashivarnam Chadurabhujam Prasannavadanam Vyayed Sarva Vignoparashyantaye. This chant comprising of magical sounds will dissolve obstacles that lie in the future unseen.
Obstacles unseen.
Shri Shri Hri Kli Klaum Gang Ganapataye Vara Varada Sarvajaname Vasamanaya Swaha. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnu Shashivarnam Chadurabhujam Prasannavadanam Jayed Sarva Vignopashyantaye. Shri Hri Kli Klaum Gam Ganapataye Vara Varada Sarvajaname Vasamanaya Swaha. Ganesha is an elephant-headed god. His energy dissolves obstacles of all kinds. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnu Shashivarnam Chadurabhujam Prasannavadanam Jayed Sarva Vignopashyantaye. This chant comprising of magical sounds will dissolve obstacles that lie in the future unseen.
Obstacles unseen.
Shri Hri Kli Klaum शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। श्रीं ह्रीं क्लीं क्लौं गं गणपतये वरद सर्वजनमे वसमानाय स्वाहा। शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। श्रीं ह्रीं क्लीं क्लौं गं गणपतये वरद सर्वजनमे वसमानाय स्वाहा। Ganesha is an elephant-headed god. His energy dissolves obstacles of all kinds. Listen to the mantras and dissolve all obstacles. शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। This chant comprising of magical sounds will dissolve obstacles that lie in the future unseen.
Obstacles unseen.
Shri Hrim Klim Klaum Gam Ganapataye Varada Sarvajaname Vasamanaya Swaha. शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। Shri ह्रीं क्लीं क्लौं गं गणपतये वरद सर्वजनमे वसमानाय स्वाहा। शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं Ganesha is an elephant-headed god. His energy dissolves obstacles of all kinds. Listen to the mantras and dissolve all obstacles. Shuklam bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chadurbhujam Prasannavadanam Shri Hri Kli Klaum Gang Ganapataye Varada Sarvajaname Vasamanaya Swaha. Shuklam bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chadur Ganesha is an elephant-headed god. His energy dissolves obstacles of all kinds. Listen to the mantras and dissolve all obstacles.
Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnu Shashivarnam Chadurabhujam Prasannavadanam Jayed Sarva Vignoparashyantaye.
This chant, comprising of magical sounds, will dissolve obstacles that lie in the future, unseen.
Obstacles unseen.
Shashivarnam Chadurabhujam Prasannavadanam Jayed Sarva Vignoparashyantaye. Shreem, Hreem, Kleem, Klaum, Gang, Ganapataye, Vara, Varada, Sarvajaname, Vasamanaya, Swaha. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnu Shashivarnam Chadurabhujam Prasannavadanam Jayed Sarva Vignoparashyantaye. Sarvajaname Vasamanaya Swaha.
Ganesha is an elephant-headed god. His energy dissolves obstacles of all kinds. Listen to the mantras and dissolve all obstacles.
Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chadurabhujam Prasannavadanam Jayed Sarva Vignoparashyantaye. This comprising of magical sounds will dissolve obstacles that lie in the future, unseen.
Obstacles unseen.
Shri Hrim Klim Klaum Gam Ganapataye Vara Varada Sarvajaname Vasamanaya Swaha. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chadurabhujam Prasannavadanam Jayed Sarva Vignoparashyantaye. Shri Hrim Klim Klaum Gam Ganapataye Vara Varada Sarvajaname Vasamanaya Swaha. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chadurabhujam Prasannavadanam Jayed Sarva Vignoparashyantaye. Shri Hrim Klim Klaum Gam Ganapataye Vara Varada Sarvajaname Vasamanaya Swaha.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this special Goddess webinar. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to check my audio to make sure it's okay. We're going to get started. If you have any trouble hearing me, let me know in chat, and then I can use my headphones, but I'm trying to avoid using my headphones today. So welcome to this Pillai Center webinar for Vasant Navaratri, which is the springtime version of Navaratri, or the 9 nights of the goddess. Then to make sure you can hear me. Okay, I think my computer is just being odd. So today we are here to talk about spring Navaratri. Again, Navaratri literally meaning 9 nights. So Nava is the part of the word for 9. You'll hear that sometimes in reference to the planets. But this is the 9 nights to celebrate the divine feminine, the goddess, as we refer to her in all her beautiful forms to help us. So today, my goal is to explain a little bit about what Navaratri is, how you can participate and celebrate the goddess on your own in your own personal practice with some simple tips that I've learned from Dr. Pillai along the way, and then also to share with you in a very clear manner what's available at Pillai Center for you to participate in. There's some great offerings you can still join, and it's a way for you to take advantage of the special energy that comes with Navaratri. So that's where we're going to go. And then there's also a chat on the page. If you have questions, you can post them there, and I'll be able to answer them at the end. So first of all, my name's Sarah. I work at Pillai Center, and I'm really excited to talk about Navaratri, and I hope that you're excited to learn or refresh about the power of the goddess in your life. And this happens generally twice a year. It happens with the change of season, but we often remember Navaratri in the fall, but we have a version of it in the spring as well. So in this specific month known as Chitra, in India, it falls between mid-March and mid-April. We start these 9 nights on the first waxing moon. So depending on where you live, you start either tonight, the 17th. I'm in the US, so the first waxing moon is actually begun, and tonight will be the first night. A cell phone, and you can access Horowatch from Astraved. That's great. Or if you have your Astraved calendar, you can follow along with the moon phases. So you'll see that the first waxing moon started today. So that's where Navaratri comes from, and it's really important to start with the base of what is it and why are we celebrating it. So one of the best things about Dr. Pillai's teachings is he always incorporates these power times. He is helping us become more aware and more alert of our relationship to time, how we spend our time, how we waste our time, what we're thinking about, what we're focused on. And time is created by our relationship to planets. So if you think about the day is created when the sun comes up, the sunrise starts our day, the sunset signals that it's evening, and then the moon goes across the sky at night. So if you see it or not, if you're paying attention to it or not, you already have this natural relationship with the planets. So our sense of time comes from that. And particularly the moon phases impact us because the moon has great impact on our mind, how we're seeing, experiencing, perceiving, and emotionally feeling in this world. So this particular celebration follows this trajectory of the moon. So the moon is now growing. It's going to get brighter each night of Navaratri, and it's connecting us to the goddess so that we experience it through this world, through how we perceive things, through our mind, through our emotions. So that's what it is. So you know these 9 significant, and it's sort of this beautiful play in the cosmos for us to interact with the goddess. Now, why is it important? So Navaratri, it's also a shift of season, right? So it's bringing you in to this new energy of spring, in this new phase of the moon where things are starting to be created and there's growth. And then the goddess is so important. And what I'll tell you that helped me, just as someone who celebrated Navaratri for several years, but taking a refresher and going back through Dr. Pillai's videos. So even if you do it on your own in YouTube, he has so many videos on Navaratri and they're brilliant. They're short and you can understand so much, and he makes it very simple for us to actually feel the power of the goddess. So when we say goddess, it is in reference to that divine feminine energy. And the goddess is the creatress. So Dr. Pillai said in several of his Navaratri videos, it's not our version of God, the male energy that creates. That's very still, and the goddess must come with action, with creation, and is often referred to as Shakti, which is pure energy and power. And that even comes down into our human world, where you think of the human woman is the one who gives birth in life, right? Is the one who carries that energy of life and brings it into this world. And so the goddess energy is your creative potential. It is actually energy and power, and everything that happens in this world that we experience in your reality comes from the goddess. And Dr. Pillai also says in so many of his videos, which I highly encourage you watch, is that the goddess is real. All of these forms so that we can relate to her. She's so beautiful and powerful and nurturing and action-oriented, and can give us wealth and can give us intelligence and can give us health. And she is essentially the divine mother energy. And during Navaratri, the goddess comes in a form that is very fierce. So I like to think of it as a deep cleansing, a deep cleaning with the divine feminine doing the work on our behalf. If you are a mother, or you think of your own mother or strong women in the world, or even if you think of like Mother Nature and the power that that has, and the power to protect and take care of her children, that is this divine feminine energy that comes through Navaratri. It's fierce through love. And the fierceness is to help us clear out everything that's holding us back from living our highest, most divine, most brilliant, outrageous life. And we all have these blocks, and it comes in the form of ignorance, negativity, depression, anxiety, poverty, always living in scarcity or having a lack of something. It comes with not having the right skills or speech or understanding. And the goddess comes during these 9 nights to clear those things out of our life so that we can access that divine love and power. We can feel nurtured. We can have access to abundance and live and create prosperity for ourselves and others. And we can tap into pure divine intelligence and creativity. So you'll also hear Dr. Pillai say that the goddess is consciousness, the goddess is intelligence. Those are ways to think of who she is and why it's so important to take advantage of this time, because these power times, so when we talk about Navaratri being these 9 nights during this waxing phase in the springtime, it's like a window in the universe that everything is amplified. All of this energy is for you to utilize and sort of ride that wave high at this time with the help of the goddess to really do this work. So it's beautiful and powerful, and it's not something you want to miss. So I want to share with you ways that you can actually honor this, celebrate this, and bring the goddess into your life. If you're someone who already does this, you have a strong connection to the goddess, then it's just, again, amplifying that, bringing it and doing work, making it more profound for you. If it's brand new, then it's a great opportunity to explore the goddess and, open your arms to what she can bring into your life. So that is what we're looking at for these 9 nights and then how to break it down, there's a lovely system that comes with this. So as I mentioned, the goddess comes in all these forms. So the goddess comes from the Indian tradition, which we'll talk about, but also you'll find her in all other traditions. So you can look at the Egyptians and all the goddesses, the Greeks and all the goddesses, the Romans. You can look at Mother Mary. You can look at more indigenous cultures. You can look at other Asian cultures, and you'll find this beautiful form of divine feminine power, Shakti, which is our life force, this creation energy. In the Navaratri tradition, the goddess is often celebrated 3 nights at a time, focusing on sort of 3 big ideas of the goddess. The first 3 nights being goddess Durga, the middle 3 nights being goddess Lakshmi, and the final 3 nights being goddess Saraswathi. And like I said, this is a beautiful order because they come in this particular way to help us clear these negativities out of our life and deliver their gifts, which are each very different and very essential for our life. So that's one way you can think about it, is you're starting with Durga, you're moving to Lakshmi, and then ending with Saraswati, and you get to experience them in all of their glory. Now, I will talk about one program that Dr. Pillai put together a few years ago, and you may have access to it or you may be very interested in joining it. It's called Goddess Wisdom, and in that program, he actually gives us a sort of 9 versions of the goddess for each of the 9 nights, and goes deeper into sort of their form, their name, their sound, in addition to kind of the general breakdown of Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswati. So that's an option. I'll talk about that at the end. But you start with Durga, and I have this little I'll share this little infographic Pillai Center made that gives you some quick tips about each of the goddesses. And again, also recommend some videos on YouTube to get you started. So there's several options where Dr. Pillai breaks it down for what you can do for Lakshmi and what you can do for Saraswati. So the 9 nights of the goddess, remembering that it's the Divine Mother, she's coming to take care of us, she's coming to help us grow and wants the very best for all of her children. So the other beautiful part of Navaratri is it's an individual exploration of your relationship to the goddess, but it has this collective consciousness, this global impact when the goddess descends to help and protect all of her children. So the more alert, the more aware you are that this is happening, the more you can get out of it, because the goddess is coming during Navaratri if we pay attention or not. But when we do pay attention, the experience is that much deeper. So she's coming to destroy the darkness. And again, you may hear Dr. Pillai refer to that as coming to destroy demons. And then he talks about, well, what are those? And again, it's a negativity, anything that's dark and heavy that you feel. It's your thoughts of, I don't have enough, I'm not good enough, I'm depressed, I'm anxious, I'm ugly, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to create, I don't have this, I don't have that. All of those things in lack, in ignorance, it is a dark feeling. They're coming to clear that out. The goddess knows who you are and wants to empower you. Remember, the goddess is that energy, that Shakti, that power. So that's why she's coming, and coming in a fierce form, because it takes a lot of power to clear these things out of our life. So the first night is, again, depending on where you are, it will start tonight for many of you. Make sure you can see that. And so nights 1, 2, and 3, the first third of Navaratri is the goddess in the form of Durga. So if you can see the picture of Durga, and I'll show you some other images. She's very fierce. She is known throughout India as a form of the Divine Mother who often has many, many arms. So she has all these arms, and in each hand there's a special weapon. And the weapons are not just weapons as we know them on earth, they're divine weapons. So Durga came as the goddess when the gods couldn't destroy specific demons that were really hard to destroy. They called upon the goddess and they gave her all of these weapons so that she could use them. And she's so fierce, and always you'll most often see Durga riding on a lion or a tiger, the fierce vehicle, just pure power coming to destroy. And she does this out of pure love because you, again, are her children, and she wants to clear out anything that's harming you, anything that's not serving your best and highest life, anything that's causing you pain and suffering. Durga comes to clear out those demons of negativity. And then, as it says here, restore righteousness. So she is about protecting you, nurturing you by getting rid of that darkness, and then empowering you to live as powerfully as she is. So it's a beautiful way to start Navaratri, because you come in with the Divine Mother and all of this power to clear out what is causing all the problems. And one good thing to start that everyone can do to start Navaratri is to take a few minutes and acknowledge what are those negativities. If demons isn't the word to use, what it means is things that are negative in your life. And again, you can look at your health. It can be a disease, it can be an illness, it can be an ache and a pain. Are your joints sore? Is that shoulder really hurting you? Do you have internal issues? And also with our body, we can be very slow to acknowledge that something is wrong, but our body is telling us that it's wrong. The same with our mental and our emotional bodies. What are the negativities in your emotions? Are you hanging on to jealousy? Are you living gripped with fear? Are you letting that anger rise up and take control of you way too often? And then also just psychologically in the mental realm, check your thoughts. What are your thoughts on? Are they darker? Are they taking you down that road of nothing is happening in the world and nothing's going your way? When you start there and you acknowledge what you're aware of as the negativities in your life, and then you invoke Durga during these nights, she can come in and clear those out for you. If you look at her, and this is a big part of your personal practice, is finding a form of the goddess to connect with. It's one of the best tools we have, is that the goddess can take this form and we can interact with it. We can look at it, we can offer it things, we can pray to it and chant to it. And that really helps us have this personal connection. And when you see Durga, you see pure power. And again, it's for you, it's to clear these things out so that you can be done with that suffering and move into that power of creation in your life. So nights 1, 2, and 3 are Durga. You can find an image, and I'm going to go through a few things you can find as well. In the back, I have some roses, and they're a mix of color, hopefully to bring out the goddesses. Durga is often associated with red. So if you have flowers that you can offer on nights 1 through 3, you would want to use the color red. Durga is a form of goddess Parvati. She's connected to Lord Shiva as his consort that way. And you'll often see her dressed in red. And if you just think of how powerful red is, that is for Durga. So each of these also have the mantras, which I'm going to go through as well. And Dr. Pillai has given us a short mantra for each of the goddesses so that it's easier for us to use, but they're so powerful. So you'll see her mantra here on the screen, Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. And you can chant that and you can chant it at night. So we're going to emphasize the night time, specifically between about 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. That's the height of when the goddesses are active during Navaratri. It's not so much during the day, but they come at night and they're fierce and formidable, and they're here to do this work for us. So if you can make the time to stay up, and it's the optimal time to connect with Durga between about 11 and 2 in your local time zone, you'll really start to feel her presence. Then following Durga is goddess Lakshmi. So I think you can still see this. She is the middle section of Navaratri. So she is nights 4, 5, and 6. And most of you are probably familiar with goddess Lakshmi. If you've been following Dr. Pillai, he talks about her very often. Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth. She brings abundance. She brings wealth in the form of money, material things, beauty, relationship. She brings us the abundance of wealth in our lives. And therefore, if we don't have that, which most people in the world are lacking something in the material realm, and it causes great stress, then Lakshmi is the goddess we need to bring into our lives. And if you do go through Dr. Pillai's videos on Navaratri, you'll hear him talk about Lakshmi a lot. You'll hear him talk about Lakshmi as being the most important. Everyone needs help on this earth plane. We live in a material world. We need to be able to create our material desires, and this goddess can really help us. The one thing to note about Lakshmi during Navaratri is she's also very fierce. So we know that Durga is always fierce, but often we connect with Lakshmi in a much more like maybe playful or gentle nature. We're praying, we're chanting about receiving and feeling her wealth. But she comes during Navaratri to get things done. She comes to remove poverty. She comes to clear out any sense of scarcity, of lack, of not having what you need, of not living with full abundance and being able to create your material desires. She comes to destroy. This is a time of destruction to give rise to creation. So when you think of Lakshmi during these nights, you want to feel her fierce energy clearing that away. If you have debt, if you have you have to take out more loans to buy a house, you need to buy a car, you're trying to pay off credit cards, this is a time for Lakshmi to clear that. If you are trying to manifest a business or really push things to a new level with your finances in life, maybe it's your investments, again, maybe it's acquiring something else, this is where Lakshmi can come in and clear anything that's prohibiting that. So as you are in the middle of Navaratri, you really want to focus on and be aware of, okay, what is my negative outlook on prosperity? Where am I lacking things? What do I really believe about that? And then you're going to invoke this powerful goddess who can destroy that and bring you a renewed energy of prosperity. So for Lakshmi, her color is more pink. So you'll see Lakshmi in pink. So pink roses, pink flowers she loves. She also loves green. So the realms of pink, green, gold. But for one color's sake, we put her in pink. You'll see she's holding lotuses in her hands. They're all often pink. She's pouring gold out of her hands. She's giving her wealth to you. She's beautiful to be around, to look at. You may also experience her in a dark eggplant purple. Dr. Pillai has mentioned that before. So if you've heard that and you're comfortable with that, you can go with that deep, beautiful eggplant color. But for my sake and this webinar, we're sticking with beautiful pinks. And then the mantra on the screen is Om Shrim Lakshmiye Namaha, which is Shrim is her seed sound, and then her name, of course, is Lakshmi. You can also use Om Shrim Brazi, Om Shrim Brazi Lakshmiye Namaha. So if you're very familiar with Dr. Pillai's teachings on Shrim Brazi, you can incorporate Shrim Brazi for Lakshmi's nights 4, 5, and 6. And then the final 3 nights, we have the beautiful goddess Saraswati, who is the goddess of wisdom. She is often associated with education, the way we think of education in a system like school. But more than that, Saraswati is the goddess who brings us the ultimate wisdom, which is our consciousness. And Dr. Pillai has often talked about Saraswati being the goddess of the future. She brings us technology. She brings us everything related to the arts. So you always see her, like she is depicted here with a musical instrument. It's called a veena. Most often that's what you see her with. So that ability to create. And she is a patron saint, the goddess of astrology. She has ancient nadi leaves. She gives us that wisdom. So again, this progression is very beautiful as Durga comes in to clear out those anxieties, that deep depression, the fears and angers, and in such a fierce way. Lakshmi is followed to remove our lack and bring abundance. And Saraswati comes at the end and brings us this amazing wisdom and consciousness to know what to do and how to create and have that power and that beauty. So you'll see here, she sits on a white lotus. You'll often see her riding on a swan, but white. So if you have white flowers, if you have like a white cloth or something to adorn her with, that's also a great thing to do. And then her mantra is Om Aim Saraswatiye Namaha, the seed sound being Aim. So you'll see that there, A-I-M, and that's a very powerful sound that you can use. Again, the whole thing is Om Aim Saraswatiye Namaha, and that's her name. So with each of these mantras, you're invoking them through the name of the goddess to have them come into your life. So that's the breakdown of the three sections, 3 nights of Durga, 3 nights of Lakshmi, 3 nights of Saraswati. And if you know another mantra for each of the goddesses that you prefer, or you've been given one by Dr. Pillai, or like I'll mention in a moment, there are some options to take courses through Pillai Center. Then you can use those mantras. So if you have a slightly different version of the Durga mantra, you can use that. For Durga. As I mentioned, for Lakshmi, you can use Shrim Vriti, or you can combine it with her name. And same with Saraswati. He's given a few versions for Saraswati, so you can use whichever one is most appropriate for you. So now you know what Navaratri is, who are the main goddesses we're focused on, and now I'm just going to share a little bit about what you can do at home, and then tell you about how you can join Pillai Center's offerings if you're looking for more. So the best thing to do is what I mentioned before. Number one, think about what you want to be removed from your life. Think about those negativities and be authentically honest. It's only for you, so no one else has to know. But if you're feeling really down all the time, you're stuck in, we talk about depression a lot, or just feeling blue, or not feeling great about our life, that dark, heavy energy. If you're feeling that, if you're feeling stuck or just not motivated, maybe you're lethargic, if you're feeling ill or pain in any part of your health, if you're feeling down about your money and you want more, and you want to know that it's possible, and then we can all use more intelligence, more consciousness, more creativity, so that wisdom, being able to access that and clear away thoughts that are ignorant. We all have them, we don't want to admit it, but they hold us back. So number one is spend a little time before Navaratri begins and just think of what are those negativities, even if it was just one kind of in each category, and just put them down on paper if you can, or just acknowledge them. And that is the step of, these are the things, Goddess, I need your help with. Please remove them, destroy them, and give me a fresh start. So then once you acknowledge that and you're aware, set a timer on your phone or your watch, or remember that it's important to be up at night. So I know we have to be practical. People have jobs, they have families, but this only happens, one time in the spring, and this is your advantage. It's not going to come around again in 2018. There's another Navaratri in the fall, but this is your moment right now. So don't make excuses, but rather make space for this connection to the goddess at night. So it can be, we said in our newsletters and things about 11 to 2 a.m., 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. It could be a little bit earlier, it can go a little bit later. So you need to start at 10, but use the nighttime and feel the goddess. So that's the second part, is make it a priority. It's only 9 nights, and if you think you're going to be tired, remember the goddess is creativity, she's power, she's energy. She can give you that boost to do whatever you need to do the next morning if you put in the effort to show up and be with her during these 9 nights. So what can you do? The simplest thing that you can do is find a form, find an image. So I have, just really quickly, an image of each of them. I have this tiny image of Goddess Durga, if you can see it, that I was given a long time ago. And I carry this with me all the time to have her protection and to defeat that negativity when it arises. So having even the littlest picture, I can carry this in my pocket. For the first 3 nights, you can offer a light to this. You can just hold it and pray with it. You can look at it. You can just have it in your room, or if you have a meditation space or an altar, you can bring Durga's presence into your life. The other option is if you have a statue of Durga that you can offer to it. Or I also have a yantra for Durga. So if you've ever seen a yantra, it's a geometric symbol imprinted in metal, and it conducts the energy through the sacred geometry. And this one is specifically for Durga. So when this is in your room, or you're on your altar, or even if you're meditating on it, it's always activated with Durga's energy. So you can have a yantra for all of the goddesses as well. If you have one for Navaratri, great. Again, a picture is amazing to have as well. And so you want to have some form of her, and then you can offer things very simply. You can offer a light. So if you have, this is a ghee lamp that you would just light, or you can have a candle. Dr. Pillai always likes candles without a lot of chemicals. So if you can get like a palm oil candle or a soy candle, they're just better to burn. But a ghee lamp, you can have that. Goddesses like incense. So it's things that smell nice. If you're not able to do incense, you can do essential oils. People have those essential oil misters these days. Those are very pleasant to be around, and goddesses like beautiful smells. And then you can have a little bit of water. So this is a tiny little cup of water, and you can just a little water on your yantra, or even your picture if it won't ruin it, or your statue, or just offer it on the same table. And then you can have obviously flowers. So as I mentioned, it's great to play with the colors, that you could find red flowers for Durga, pink flowers for Lakshmi, white flowers for Saraswathi, but it doesn't have to be that way either. If you just offer flowers, they're going to love flowers. I know it's still winter for a lot of people, even though we're pushing it into spring. If flowers are hard to find outside, you can usually get a big bouquet of flowers, for not too expensive at a grocery store, and it could last you for all of Navaratri. So you can also offer just petals. So if you had something like roses, they have a lot of petals. If those are too expensive, mums are really good. Things with a lot of petals can be great. And again, you can get one bouquet. It will most likely last you the entire 9 nights. And goddesses also like food. So you can cook them food if you cook them like a vegetarian food, if you're making rice or sweets or something. But simple is fruit. So you can always offer fruit. You can offer things like dates or raisins, and you can offer chocolates. They love milk-based sweets. So simplest thing I do is take something like a Hershey's Kiss, and you can offer it as you're connecting with them. And all of that is optional. It's great, again, if you have a form of the goddess that you can connect to. But if you don't, then the thing you can do is use her mantra. So Dr. Pillai also mentions this in all of his Navaratri videos. And the key to the goddess is the sound. And it really unlocks her presence in your life. So if you do nothing else, chant her mantra. And those mantras are very short. So doing 108 versions of Om Dum Durgaye Namaha the first 3 nights, it won't even take you very long. So you may just keep going. You may feel the goddess having you keep chanting. And you can use mala beads if you have them. These are great. Like this one, you could go a whole round and chant the mantras while you're counting. I didn't bring a little counter, but a lot of people have little clickers. Or you can just keep chanting and say you're going to chant for an hour or 2 hours, and just focus on the goddess and use her sound. The sound is going to access her power more easily for your mind to move into that space with her. So the sounds are really great connections to her. And then you can also meditate with goddess if you prefer meditating or praying. So if in prayer you can ask her for what you need help with, in meditation you can be open to receiving what the goddess is going to give you. And so that was for Durga. The same is true for Lakshmi. So there's a lot of pictures of Lakshmi. Here I just have like a simple laminated picture. There's also this famous picture of Lakshmi Dr. Pillai has. Lakshmi really loves turmeric rice, so we have a little statue of her in turmeric rice. You can offer Lakshmi turmeric in the middle nights. And the other thing I wanted to mention, as I know a lot of you have these Shrimbrazi yantras from Pillai Center. So if you have a Shrimbrazi yantra, you can also meditate with it, offer to this during Lakshmi's nights, because she is Shrimbrazi, she carries that energy. And then, of course, Saraswathi. So you can have a picture of the goddess. You see her on the white lotus with her beautiful veena playing. I am a big fan of yantras. So I have this Saraswati yantra, is one of my favorites. Or even tiny little statues. Sometimes you have small versions of the goddess. So it doesn't matter size. Picture a yantra, and then again you can offer the light, the fruit, the flowers. The Saraswati is white, so white flowers are usually pretty easy to find, and sweets, and that's the simplest version of what you can do. And then again for Lakshmi, you can use Om Shrimbrazi Namaha, or Om Shrimbrazi Lakshmiye Namaha, or Om Shrim Lakshmiye Namaha, whichever one you feel most connected to in your heart. That will be your call signal to the goddess to come. And again, she's coming in the middle of Navaratri to clear out ignorance of poverty, lack, scarcity. And then for Saraswati, that seed sound is Aim. So you can use Om Aim Saraswatiye Namaha, or again, if there's another version that Dr. Pillai you've received from him, or one you love, you can use that too. And she's coming in to clear out our ignorance and bring us new intelligence and consciousness and creation. So that's what you can do at home. Number one, look at what negativities need to be removed. Dedicate some time at night. Again, this is such an auspicious opportunity for the world to experience and embrace the goddess, and she will empower you during this time don't worry about staying up late. She's going to take care of you. And then number 3, invoke her, make a personal relationship. The mantra is the key, and then these other offerings, the form through an image, a statue, a yantra, and connecting by sitting in front of her, meditating, or doing a puja type offering is also a great way. So that's what you can do at home. If you're looking for an image of the goddess, the internet's a wonderful thing sometimes. There's beautiful images, and if it's just for your own personal use, you can access them. And I'm a big believer of finding one that's beautiful to you, because you're going to relate to it. You're going to feel the goddess when you love looking at her. And then at Pillai Center, we have some great offerings. So I'll share these really quickly, and then I can take any questions you might have. So you can go to Pillai Center, and if you go to our specials, you'll find the Vasant Navaratri, which is spring Navaratri, offerings that you can participate in. So they start on March 18th. So today is the day to sign up if you haven't. And the reason being, when you participate in these offerings, they require your name and your birth star, which is a proxy way of having you energetically be part of the ritual. So they say everyone's name and birth star aloud. So there is a cutoff time you need to sign up to join some of these. But if you go here, you can see they're doing these amazing things in India on our behalf for everyone who wants to participate. There's a lot of information if you scroll through the page. They're doing a goddess Bhuvaneshwara, which is very fun to read about, and the power of this goddess is amazing. This isn't something Pillai Center does every year, so it's something they've specifically chosen to do this year as help to people in connecting with the goddess. And so there's that. There's also offerings at specific temples to the goddess throughout Navaratri. I'm just scrolling through here. And then if you scroll down to the end, you can see the packages, and you could access the basic package and what that gives you. The premier package has a bit more, including that grand Bhuvaneshwari Homa, which is a fire ritual. We also call them fire labs. And then there's some really like a individual Chandi Homa, which Chandi is very similar to Durga and a fierce form to destroy things that are causing you problems in life. So you can scroll through here and see if any of these are attractive to you. If you resonate with them, they'll be very helpful to you. And then there's also, so those are rituals, those are things that actually are occurring with Dr. Pillai's divine guidance to do them at specific times on Navaratri night in India, at specific places, with specific mantras and offerings. What they put into the fire is what the goddess loves, that particular goddess. So they're these very amazingly like tangible experiences of connecting with the goddess through ritual that you can participate in no matter where you live in the world. The other thing that's really great is through Pillai Center, through our Pillai Center Academy, there's 2 courses you can access. And if you just go to the course directory, you can find them, but there's also links to them because there's discounts if you sign up right now. There's one small course called Navaratri, 9 Nights of the Goddess. And there's initiation and a meditation from Dr. Pillai. And it goes through this great video if you want to learn more about it. There's introductory teaching, so it'll tell you how to do these at-home offerings to Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswathi. There's meditations with Dr. Pillai, so you can watch the video or listen to the audio and follow his instructions for each night. And then there's also, we refer to them as mantra loops. So it's the mantra for each goddess that's the most powerful, and it'll just repeat usually 108 times. So you can download that audio and you can chant with it, or you can have it playing all night long during Navaratri. This is a beautiful little program. I went through it to talk about it, and it's very simple. It's very basic, but it's so right on what we all need to do during Navaratri. So if you're looking for a little bit more guidance, a little more help, I highly recommend this program. And it's something you can use for every Navaratri. So if you have access to it already, you've purchased it before, then definitely log in and go through the materials. That refresher will just amplify your experience of Navaratri even more. And if it's brand new, especially if you're new to Navaratri, this is a really amazing place to start, because there's so much given, but they keep it very simple so you can just do it step by step. It's not overwhelming. It's something. So, and this is a beautiful quote. The goddess has ultimate compassion for human beings, especially during Navaratri time, so we can wake up to an understanding of our own capabilities to live the full consciousness, because our senses delude us. So again, it's that energy of what's holding you back, what's negative in your life, and invoking the goddess to come in and destroy it so that you can wake up to what you're really capable of, what your real potential is. And the last course I want to mention is called Goddess Wisdom, also found on Pillai Center Academy. And there's a link to it in the emails you'll receive after this. This one is a little bit, has a little bit more to it than the last one. If you're familiar with Navaratri, the Navaratri teachings, so there's a different goddess for each of the 9 nights. And this is referenced in some of Dr. Pillai's YouTube videos. It started about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. He introduced this, and it's a very, very powerful teaching. It's one of my favorite teachings Dr. Pillai has done on the goddess, and people have had amazing experiences with this program. So again, if you've participated in, at one point it was called Navaratri, which references these 9 sounds. And since then we've called it the Goddess Wisdom Program. If you have this, definitely log in and access it and go back through each night, refreshing your relationship with these goddesses. The sounds you'll remember, they're so powerful, but you can use those sounds on the particular night if you're in this program. You can also use the mantras I gave you. It's up to you what you use, but this one goes really deep with the goddess. And if you're looking for that ultimate goddess experience during Navaratri, I highly recommend this. Again, it's one of my favorite things Dr. Pillai has shared with us over the years. You'll see the description of the different mantras given, and you'll be surprised that this teaching sticks with you. So it's, again, we talked about how everything gets magnified during Navaratri, but this can be your daily practice the rest of your life. This can be something you connect with the goddess every single day. And it's a magical experience of how just powerful and beautiful the goddess is in your life, and you become more and more aware of it. So again, you can go to Pillai Center Academy, and you can go to Goddess Wisdom and read through what's in the program. You have these initiations, have the audio tracks, and you have beautiful images of the goddess you can look at. And then, like I said, it's not limited to Navaratri. You can do this every day. So these are really, really powerful programs that if you're looking for more guidance from Dr. Pillai during Navaratri, these are the 2 great outlets we have created at Pillai Center for you to use, along with those rituals that you can participate in. So there's a lot of options. There's your at-home practice, which you definitely should do. And then depending on what you're drawn to, what you're feeling you need for Navaratri, you can participate in the rituals in India, the Navaratri smaller 9 nights of Navaratri, get you started, get you excited about it, or the Goddess of Wisdom, which is a deeper dive into the divine feminine and it's very empowering. So I can't recommend that program enough. It's definitely one of my all-time favorites. So, and just a note on those, again, the ceremonies for the 9 nights start March 18th and run through the 26th. And that's based on India time, as they're all taking place in India. So it will be, the night of the 18th will be the first one. And you can select the different packages that Pillai Center has for that. The Navaratri program, which is the first one I showed you that gets you started with the essentials of connecting with Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswathi. And that's 50% off through the whole month of March. So again, it's a really great refresher or starting point to get to know the goddess and just embrace her power during this time. And then for the Goddess Wisdom program, it's this amazing initiation into these 9 goddess mantras, 1 for each night. But again, you can use them throughout the year. You'll see once you experience it how powerful they are. And that is 30% off for the whole month of March. So those are your options for honoring the goddess. And again, there's also so many beautiful YouTube videos to go back to. There's several that are broken down where Dr. Pillai talks about Navaratri as a whole. And then he also says, this is how you can connect with Durga. This is how you can connect with Lakshmi. This is how you embrace Saraswati. I watched them all week long, sort of getting excited about this and how seeing them, there's still a gem in there to help you. So that's also a great place. I've said like 5 times today, but his teachings on Navaratri are very powerful. So go back to YouTube as well. But it looks like Ambika's been sharing the links for how to access these. Again, on the timing, it's going to depend on where you live. But if you can access your Astraved calendar, you can, you can even Google it. You can go to Astraved as well. But all of our rituals through the ritual packages are starting on the 18th, which is Sunday. So it'll be Sunday night in India. If you are participating in them and you live in the West and you want to kind of tune in to what's happening as the rituals are going, it's going to be, they're all going to be done nighttime in India. So you just adjust and pay attention. For example, I live on the West Coast in the US. So Sunday night in India is my Sunday morning. So if I want to sort of internally check in and participate with that ritual, I would just know to be awake and alert to the goddess in Sunday morning. So just adjust that based on where you live in the world. Yeah, there's a lot of great options. And the one thing I want to say is just do what you can, what feels right to you, but don't miss Navaratri. Like, there's always some divine time happening. We know that. We see all the offerings we put out through Pillai Center. There's always something great happening in the world, which is fantastic for us because we have so many opportunities to change our lives. But Navaratri is very special, and we can't do anything in our lives without the goddess. Again, she's the creator. She's the creatress. She is our power, our energy, our mother, our love, our relationships. And she's so willing to help us in all these different forms. So creating a relationship with her is really essential to your life. So take advantage of this time. If I can leave you with one message, it's don't miss Navaratri. again, even if it's as simple as picking the mantra and chanting it when you can, then do it. Do more, then, like I said, the goddess she's gonna feed you, she's gonna give you energy, protect you, so you don't have to worry about being too tired or too stressed or not making time. Like if you put a little bit of energy forward, she is gonna be there and carry you through. So I hope it was helpful just to go through and get the basics that Navaratri is the celebration of the goddess during the night for the next 9 nights. And you have options in how you can connect specifically to Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswathi. And if you, some people I know are very avid Facebook users. There may be conversations on Facebook. People might share their experience Navaratris or courses. Like I said, the Goddess Wisdom course is amazing. Just the 9 nights Navaratri course, it's beautiful. It really helped me to go through it and be able to talk about these things again. So I highly recommend those if you are looking for a deeper connection, because you'll always have access to them. You can go onto Pillai Center Academy at any time and access those teachings. And whenever you need that boost of connecting with the goddess, those teachings will be there for you. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through to see if there's any last questions. If you do have a question about Navaratri time in your location where you live, and you're not sure how to figure it out, you can write to us at office at Pillai Center and we can help you. What I can tell you, generally speaking, is, again, it follows the waxing moon phases. So we just had the new moon. Again, it depends where you live, and it also depends on how you do rituals, right? So Navaratri rituals are all done at night for the goddess to come at night. So it has to be, I believe how they do it in India is the night of the first waxing moon. So that is why it's the 18th. But if you live in the US or Canada in the Western Hemisphere, the first waxing moon actually starts today. So if you're doing the practice on your own, you actually would start it tonight. But I pulled this out at the beginning. If you have an Astroved calendar, it's pretty helpful. It doesn't have, but if you look at the moon phases, that'll help you. And again, reach out to us. Or I'm a big fan of Horror Watch in general on a phone. If it works on Android or iPhones, and that can help find the moon phase on Horror Watch under the Panchang button. If you're still confused, definitely ask anyone at Pillai Center, and we can guide you based on your own time zone and give you our best assessment. If you want to just follow along with the rituals being done in India, then they all start on the 18th and go through the 26th, and just know that they're being done at nighttime, India Standard Time. All right. Well, thank you everyone for being here and for being excited about Navaratri and the goddess. And I just know whatever you're able to do during these 9 nights will benefit your life. You'll create this deeper relationship, and she will bless you and be there for you in whatever form that takes for you and your personal relationship with the divine. But it's a beautiful teaching, and you all have access to it. There's so many ways to learn about the goddess and bring her into your life. So may this be an amazing, auspicious opportunity for you to change at least one thing in your life that needs to, the negativity be removed and newfound positivity developed and grow and prosper. So have a wonderful Navaratri, everyone. Thanks for being here on our webinar, and be in touch, send in your questions, and enjoy the goddess. She is what creates this world and makes things beautiful and lovely. So take full advantage. Namaste, everyone. Have a beautiful weekend, and we'll see you on the next webinar.